Are you ready to automate your meta marketing without catching the dreaded ban hammer? Because look, if you're a marketing beginner, I know exactly what keeps you up at night. You spend hours setting up this brilliant, perfectly oiled system, you finally flip the switch, and boom, your account is instantly restricted. Well, welcome to this explainer. Think of this as your ultimate survival guide. You see, automating Facebook, Instagram, and the marketing API in 2026 isn't just about writing clever code. Not at all. It's about navigating a very strict sequence of technical setups and compliance protocols to make absolutely sure your accounts stay perfectly safe. Today, I'm going to be your friendly guide, walking you through all of this so you can build with absolute confidence. Consider this your official 2026 mission briefing. Welcome to the Meta API and Marketing Automation Blueprint. The landscape has shifted dramatically lately, but don't worry, we are going to tackle these 2026 updates step by step together. We're going to strip away all that complex developer jargon and just give you a structured, stable, long-term integration plan. By the end of this explainer, you're going to have a rock-solid foundation that Meta actually trusts. Okay, let's dive into this. We've got 5 core mission objectives on the docket today. 1. Building your automation base. 2. Unlocking permanent access tokens. 3. The container publishing model. 4. Mastering meta compliance rules. And 5. Execution and app review. Objective 1. Building your automation base. So before you can actually automate anything, you need a safe home base in the Meta Developers Platform. This is literally the foundation of your app container, and setting it up correctly from day one is the absolute secret to avoiding friction later on. Step 1 is just heading over to the Meta Developers Platform and registering an account. Easy enough, right? But here is a critical insider tip for Step 2. When you're creating your new application, you must select None or Other as your app type. Why? Because selecting None or Other gives you, as a beginner, the breathing room to experiment safely without hitting immediate app review walls. It's kind of like putting your app in an unmarked van for stealth mode. Once that's created, Step 3 is simply grabbing your unique app ID and app secret from the basic settings panel. Keep those safe. They're the keys to your new home base. Right after your app container is built, you're going to start adding products to it, like the Instagram Graph API. When you do this, you absolutely must set your OAuth redirect URIs to a secure local endpoint, specifically https://localhost. This is a crucial security step. It ensures that while you're testing and building things out, all those digital security handshakes are happening safely right on your own local machine.
Moving on to Objective 2, unlocking permanent access tokens.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how Meta handles security clearances. Think of access tokens as your VIP badges. Meta doesn't just hand out permanent keys to anyone. You have to earn them through a very specific hierarchy. You start over in the Graph API Explorer. Here you generate a short-lived user token. This thing only lasts 2 hours, and you've got to make sure you granted permissions like the ability to manage pages and posts. Next comes the exchange. You use a GET request to swap that flimsy 2-hour token for a 60-day long-lived token. But hey, we're building automations here. We don't want to reset our entire system every 2 months, right? So to go permanent, you take that 60-day token, you query your user ID, and then here's the magic trick. You hit the Accounts node. That final step unlocks your permanent page access token. This token literally never expires unless you go in and change your password or manually revoke permissions. But listen to me carefully on this one. Never, ever store these brand new permanent page access tokens in plain text. You need to use AES-256 encryption. Encrypting your tokens ensures that even if your local database is somehow compromised, bad actors absolutely cannot hijack your Meta accounts. Security always has to come first.
All right, Objective 3, the container publishing model.
Before we dive into the actual publishing mechanism, just a quick prerequisite. You must have your Instagram business account linked to a Facebook page within the Meta Business Suite. It's non-negotiable. Once they're linked, you use what's called the container model. If you're publishing to Instagram, this is the only safe way to deploy automated media, and it happens in 3 exact steps. First, you create a media container using your image URL. You're basically whispering to Meta, hey, I've got this image, get it ready. Second, and this is where people mess up, you don't just immediately hit publish. No way! You have to wait and poll the status of that container until Meta explicitly returns the status finished. That just means their servers have successfully downloaded and processed your image. Third, and only then, do you actually hit the media publish endpoint to push the post live. It's a very deliberate, sequential dance.
Quick heads up, while we're on the topic of publishing, I need to briefly mention this critical update from 2024 regarding Facebook groups. If you are planning to automate posts into a Facebook group, your system is going to fail right out of the gate unless you meet one strict requirement. Your Facebook page must be an admin of that Facebook group. It's a hard rule now, so just make sure your page privileges are set up correctly before you try to fire off any of those group automations.
Objective 4. Mastering Meta compliance rules.
Okay, I'm going to lean in here and give you an insider tip, because this phase right here is where most beginner automations get permanently blocked. Writing the code, that's the easy part. Respecting Meta's 2026 boundaries is what actually keeps you in the game. And it all comes down to the number 24. This is the golden rule of meta messaging automation. The strict 24-hour rule dictates that promotional messages can only be sent within 24 hours of a user's last interaction with your bot or page. Think of it like Cinderella's carriage, right? The very moment a user interacts, your 24-hour timer starts ticking. At hour 25, your promotional powers turn straight into a pumpkin, your API call fails, and your app gets restricted.
Let's rapidly run through the rest of the strict 2026 limits you absolutely must hardcode into your strategy. First up, zero cold outreach, period. Your automations must strictly be triggered by user-initiated actions, like someone commenting a specific keyword or replying directly to your story. What if you need to message them outside that 24-hour window? Well, then you've got to use utility templates or the Marketing Messages API. Do not, under any circumstances, try to use legacy tags. Those were completely killed off in April 2026. Finally, we have daily speed limits. Do not exceed them. Instagram DMs are heavily capped at 200 per hour, and automated commenting is capped at 4,800 actions per day. You have to respect the speed limits or you will lose your license to automate.
Let's move to Objective 5 and see how this all builds into execution and app review.
So, you know the rules, and you've got your permanent tokens. Now, it's go time. And you have choices when it comes to execution. If you're going the no-code route, using awesome platforms like Zapier or Make, you need to ensure your permission toggles are kept on within those platforms. But crucially, you absolutely must add 15-minute pacing delays between your automated actions. Why? So your workflow actually looks natural and human to Meta's algorithms. On the flip side, if you're taking the developer route, you have some incredibly powerful tools at your disposal for 2026. You can use the Facebook SDK for Python, or you can even bridge your automation directly to an AI model using a Claude MCP server. That opens the door for incredibly dynamic, context-aware interactions.
But wait, heed this warning. Before you take your shiny new automation full scale to the public, you have one final hurdle. You have to pass Meta's app review. And guys, this isn't just checking a box, it's a full-blown audit. Meta's going to require you to submit a recorded screencast showing your automation actively working in a test environment. They also require a very clear, detailed, written explanation of exactly how you are using their data. You basically have to prove to Meta that your app operates exactly the way you claim it does and that it respects every single one of those compliance rules we just covered.
So, what does this all mean? Will your new automation system pass the ultimate meta test? Well, by following the structured blueprint, securing that app container from the start, encrypting your permanent tokens, perfectly executing the container publishing model, and rigorously adhering to the 24-hour rule and those strict rate limits, you are totally setting yourself up for long-term success. Just don't forget to always keep an eye on the official Meta documentation for any real-time adjustments to those rate limits. Now, take this blueprint, execute your mission confidently, and go build a system that actually lasts. See you in the next explainer.